Welcome back. We know the all-consuming feeling, Joe, of a new crush or relationship that makes the heart flutter a little bit.
Yes.
What about you? I want to ask you this. Was it love at first sight with you and Daz?
For him, maybe. That's
awful.
That's not true. I can remember exactly what he looked like. It's like he's standing right in front of me. So at least it was attraction at first sight for me. I don't know. It was 20 years ago.
I reckon distance does make the heart grow fonder because when we're away from our loved ones, I think that love feeling increases for sure.
Well, here to swipe right on relationships. Welcome back to the House of Wellness, leading sexologist Nikki Goldstein. Hello, Nikki.
Hi.
Nikki, you have worked on a TV dating reality show. So how much do you think these shows and I guess the way we use social media and dating apps, have they changed our expectations of finding love or always looking for the one?
100%, right? If you could take a TV producer who's behind those perfect dates and to create the date night for you and your partner, maybe we wouldn't have any problems. And this is part of the problem, is that we look at those as the benchmark. You know, why doesn't my life look that? Or why can't I find a partner who looks like that? We don't see necessarily the reality of the struggles and compatibility issues. What we see is this projected perfection, which we also see on social media as well. So I do think for a lot of us, we have this very high level of an expectation that maybe we just can't meet when it comes to dating and love and relationships.
So, Nikki, there is a theory of love, though, isn't there? You know, passion, intimacy, commitment. Can you explain us a little bit about that?
Well, I think we all have a different recipe for what love is. You know, if we have a look at arranged marriages, love was something that would happen over time. It was a familiarity. It was about child rearing. So I think, again, like with attraction, you need to work out how you define love. That might mean passion and intimacy. It might mean physical attraction. It might mean that familiarity, that you've been with someone for so long that you share your life with them. Because we really don't have that definition for what love is. So I think what we need to do is empower ourselves to decide, what do we think that love is?
People talk about the 7-year itch, right? But actually, statistically, marriages tend to hit the skids around 12 years. Why is it that figure?
I actually think that when we have a look at the length of a marriage, and people get married, they tend to have children sometimes. When you look at that 12-year mark, everything has settled in. And there might be a mortgage, there might be stress to do with family, you're raising children, that's stressing you out, it might be tearing you apart. So statistically, when we look at that 12-year mark, I think it does really make sense for where life is at. But I think that people shouldn't get too caught up in that. You know, if you find yourself at that 12-year mark, or, 12 years, don't freak out that you're going to end up divorced if you've got kids and a mortgage. It just happens to be one of the common statistics out there. But I think when we look at life in general these days, which does feel stressful and it does feel like we're being pulled in different directions, it does make sense in someone's lifespan where that might be happening.
But you can fall in and out of love within the one relationship, can't you?
Definitely.
And love changes over the years.
Well, I think it's unrealistic to think that love's going to stay the same the whole time. You know, I'm always hearing people say, well, how do I get that spark back like it was in the beginning where we were tearing each other's clothes off? Well, that was the beginning of the relationship, and the relationship changes. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that that relationship, those connections, that love and intimacy will change over the years, and you need to be careful that you don't have these expectations of what it should be, that you're not actually going with the flow and exploring that new change and what that new connection might be.
So, Nikki, is there a science behind love and lasting relationships? Because I think we would all love to know if that is the case.
Well, unfortunately, love is not enough. And this is one of the sad realities of our society, is that we do see a lot of people split up, we do see a lot of divorces, but it doesn't mean that it's because there wasn't a lack of love. There's this logistical element as well to life, and I think we are given so many options and choices of how we want to live our life these days. And people are exploring that flexibility as well. You know, people are having children and then looking at love that is more of a companionship and thinking, I want passion and intimacy again, and I'm not getting that from this relationship. So I think it's really important to look at, there isn't just one necessary solution that's going to be the answer to all our problems, but we need to keep reassessing where we're getting these ideas from and where these expectations really are.
So, Nikki, is romance dead?
When you put it like that, it sounds like it's
not in my life. I'm very happily married. But, in the world.
I think we're getting romance wrong these days. I feel like it's all about what something looks like. You know, we have a look at how we project you know, on social media, you know, these proposals that we're seeing shared around online. Is there enough that we're looking back at how it feels, and is that romantic, or is it how someone else perceives it to be romantic? And that's what we need to keep in mind. Are you doing something for someone because you know it means something to them and it's a thoughtful gesture, or does it just look pretty and romantic?
And Nikki, thanks for coming in again. Very enlightening discussion.
Yes.
I want to
Bit scary.
Well, I was going to say, was it love at first sight for you and Beck?
Well, it was for me, but I had to work very, very hard.
You
to...
see? It's the same thing.